Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you like this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, in stainless steel on my 16cm circumference wrist, a rarely seen Oris family. This is the Oris Artelier Calibre 111, the Calibre 111 in stainless steel, a handsome and welcome break from customer calibers and sports watches in the Oris catalog. Now, in 2014, Oris debuted its first all-original manufacture movement in 35 years. Calibre 110 gave way the next year to the Calibre 111 seen here, so this 2015 model year debut has both impressive engineering and impressive wrist stance. The timepiece has a graceful case line, being relatively slim in relation to its width. It has a handsome aspect ratio. You can see the timepiece measures 43 millimeters, not including the big crown style crown. The timepiece is also relatively slim at 12.5 millimeters thick. It's right about where you'd find a Rolex Submariner. So any cuff that can tolerate a sub can tolerate this, perhaps even more so due to the rounded and domed bezel profile. Lug-to-lug 50 millimeters is the measurement, so I consider this watch excellent for smaller male wrists from 14 to 16.5 centimeters circumference, and it has a contemporary spacing between the lugs for a broad stance. 23 millimeters is the size if you wish to go OEM or aftermarket replacement. The strap that's included is a handsome piece. It's a dark anthracite gray, as you can see, large rectangular scale, monotone stitch, folded edges, alligator leather on the top, calfskin on the underside with a deluxe clasp by Oris, and you can see it's polished with twin trigger release, the twin trigger release adding an extra measure of security and peace of mind, satin finished and perlage engine turned on the inside. The triggers work in conjunction with a minderless system that tucks excess strap length underneath, combining for a very thoughtful and richly appointed clasp. It keeps the strap clean. There's no excess length flapping in the breeze when this one's been sized, nor are there minder loops to mar the profile of the strap. The strap is unbolstered and slim, which makes it a nice match for the width of the ultimate lug taper. The case band almost reminds me of a Rolex Daytona, Day-Date, or Datejust. It has that same fluid form with compound curves and a graceful arc. You'll note the flame surfacing effect of light as it dances across this case. It's quite fetching in person. The dial, perhaps more orthodox, a silver sunburst. Let's give ourselves a bit more light and see if we can even focus and get the grain and details of this dial a little bit more precisely. As you can see from the front, it's a bit like an IWC Portuguese in that it's all dial with the bezel melting away as a silver halo. There is a step to the center dial, stepping up from the dot index minutes track outboard. So you can see there is actually a metallic applied dot index in between the hash marks of the minutes, one at each of the hours, aligned with the applied hour index. All hour indices hand placed and diamond polished, hand laid applique 12 and 6, Arabic numerals, and a sunburst texture. There is a sunburst metallic grain to the center dial, and you can see that it's quite reactive and beautifully detailed. It looks a bit monotone in photos, but in person this watch comes to life. The hands, which are alpha style, so triangular but pinched at the center, unlike the more massive Dauphine style, feature luminescence, so there will be a lume shot, sunken registers for the constant seconds at 9 o'clock, and the non-linear power reserve scale at 3. So what that means is the power reserve scale doesn't have a constant rate of advance. That is to say, as you wind it, it moves very quickly through its initial travel, and then as it discharges, it moves slowly at first and moves more rapidly as it closes in on full discharge. That's why the spacing between the numbers is not even. So you note a more dynamic and fast-moving power reserve as you start to draw down to zero. Now you'll wonder, what features does it have? Well, it has hacking seconds, so you can stop the seconds hand, and let's just make sure we're out of the danger zone. It features a quick set function for the date, so the unconventionally located date at 9 o'clock does benefit from a quick set function. The multiple levels of the dial from the appliques to the sunken registers adding depth, and the caseback adding value. This is an impressive movement. Manual wind 10-day power reserve. This is the Oris Calibre 111. 10-day power reserve, non-linear display, so you have that accelerating discharge power reserve scale. This one has a date, so it's not like the original 111, which was a very basic manual wind 10-day. A single enormous ratchet wheel sitting on top of a single enormous barrel. You can see the click adjacent, dwarfed by that wheel. You can see the finish of the bridge is beautifully straight-grained, a distinct change of heart from Oris, which previously has specified snailing and Côte de Genève on its customer calibers. Beautifully polished screw heads, all black polished. You'll also note that the balance features a unique fine adjustment mechanism, Edicron for adjusting the regulation precisely, and then there is a beat adjustment system that has a micrometric rack and pinion arrangement. This is unique to the Oris system. So you have 240 hours of power reserve, beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, 40 joules, and one of the essential features for a modern manual wind watch, in my opinion, a decoupling system that prevents you from overwinding it. So you can wind this one to infinity and beyond. You cannot accidentally break the mainspring or overwind the watch. Oris does that, Grubel 4C does it. Why doesn't every luxury watch brand do it? I have no idea. 30 meters water resistant, so this isn't necessarily one for the pool, but for all other occasions, this watch straddles the line between casual, sports, and formal, actually fulfilling all duties quite well. Short of extreme sports like diving or high impact, this is your all-around watch from Oris. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox. And we're back with the Oris Artelier Calibre 111. As you can see, it does back up its sporty watch credentials. Not a sports watch, but a sporty watch with beautifully extended luminescent inserts on those graceful Alpha-style hands. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.